Hey, what's poppin'? I'm back. I'm rejuvenated. My name is Miladies. I am your spirit shifter here, guiding you on your journey towards self awareness. How are y'all doing? Woo! I'm excited. Y'all know I gotta put a little bit of lip gloss. All right. So, first and foremost, whenever you're catching this, I'm sending you a lot of love. For those of you who are live, what's up? We're gonna talk about a topic that really puts us in a space of knowing where our power is at, right? And hold on, y'all know I gotta go live on TikTok. Who's here with me? Who's here? Hey, right? Shout out to the individual who has provided me with so much leverage when it comes to stepping my game up for y'all. So yes, the backdrop, right? Hey, listen, technology, we're getting hip to the program. Buenos dias, buenos dias. So we're gonna be talking about five tips to protect yourself, to protect your aura, and we'll talk a little bit about what energy is, what our auric field is, okay? And please do not hesitate if you have any tips or tricks for us to protect our energy, leave it down below, okay? Because this is all about community. I may know some things that you may not know. You may know some things that I don't know. We're all here to share. And then also, for those of you who already know about this, let's start using it, right? Because it's one thing to know about something, but the other thing is, are we actually putting them into practice when we're in a stage of needing protection? Our mind does this thing that even those of us who are aware of ways to basically get a significance on our own, we can get confused and forget that we know how to light up a candle for protection. We forget that we can, freeze somebody. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, when you freeze somebody for protection and different things like that. So, but I'll be sharing 5 tips on that. All right. I want to say buenos dias. I have to get back on my Spanish, right? Because the reality is that both my parents are no longer here. And so my Spanish skills has to step it up a little bit. So y'all might see some, Spanish YouTube videos. Porque tú sabes, hay que seguir la tradición. All right. So, and I also want to say we growing together. We're growing together. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. But most importantly, practice, practice, take steps and practice. I could show up and cheer y'all on. However, putting in the work, putting in some action is what is going to really assist us in seeing results. We want to see results. We want to see results. All right, let me go live on TikTok. Hold on. How y'all feeling? Why am I talking about protection today out of all? I could talk about anything else. The reality is that the time frame that I'm doing this video, there is going to be a lot going on within the next couple of weeks. And it is important for us to remind ourselves how to protect ourselves as we all shift as a collective. We can already see there's a lot of things happening around us and within our cities and the government system and things like that. So it's time to protect ourselves. And everybody could do this. It's not something that is um, exclusive to just people who practice magic. 5 tips to protect yourself. All right. Oh yeah, and for those of you who are watching this video when I'm doing it, I have a super cool code called Summer Love 888 for all self-awareness products and services. You can get 15% off. When you book, you can book in advance, so you don't have to like book now. You can use it at a different time. So just make sure you catch the code. I love y'all. I wanted to share that. All right, so let's get into what energy is and what aura is, right? A lot of times we can kind of like get that confused. A lot of people don't talk about this, and if they do, we again get confused about what the hell energy is. So I have, as usual, y'all know I have my notes. There's no need for me to act like it's at the top of my head, right? So when we talk about energy, we're talking about our chi, right? In many spaces, they call it chi, prana, spirit, our breath. This is energy. This is energy, right? So with that being said, it is um, placed in many books and topics and research that everything holds energy. This crystal holds energy. This fan holds energy. Your food holds energy. The phone is energy. We are energy. So this is when we talked about abundance. We talked about it as well as energy. So when we think about it, we want to see it in a physical way. Look at yourself. You are energy, right? So a lot of times it feels like it's something that's all the way out there. And it is. It's all the way out there and it's all the way in here. And I know I'm speaking in codes, but those of you who get it, get it. We are energy, right? So when we are surrounding ourselves with people, when we are interacting, everyone has their own auric field. Everyone has a shield around them. Everyone emanates energy from the center of their heart. It goes up through your head and it surrounds you, and it goes from the bottom of your feet and it comes up and it surrounds you as well. All right. That is your auric field. It is said to be 20 feet wide. So whatever's in between your 20 feet of distance is affecting you. Even if you feel like, oh, I don't belong there. Even you driving through a space where you feel uncomfortable is still passing through your auric field and auric energy. When, for those of us who are in New York, we are bunched up in the train stations on the bus. All those people surrounding us are in our energy field. When we get off the bus or the train, some of us may feel some type of way, right? This talks about energy transferring to you or you transferring energy to other people. To be honest with you, the only way we have control over that is by protecting ourselves. We have the ability to manipulate our energy so that we can be able to not get so much of what's surrounding us into our field. Prime example, like I said, when you get off the train, you feel some type of way, and now all of a sudden you was happy when you was on the train, when you get off, now you mad. Why? Because somebody stepped on your toe. So that's an energy transfer, right? Immediately you start getting your emotions involved. Why the bleep you stepped on me, right? So now you are angry. Now that energy carries on. You call somebody on the phone. Yo, I was on the train. You know what happened? They stepped on my toes, and I told them this, that, and the third. That energy is still transferring within you. You didn't leave it there. No. Now, what happens with that thought? How many of us have these memories of bad times when we was here, when we was there? We can come up with all of that, right? That is still within our auric field. That's still within our energy system. How do we release that? How do we begin to start noticing what is ours and what is not? I've had the privilege of working with people and helping them differentiate what's theirs and what's not. And it's all about really tuning into self and recognizing what techniques are you putting out there to help you recognize what's your energy and what's not? All right. And it is as simple as you doing things that you normally would not do can give you an indication that it is not your energy. So, and this happens a lot also with mothers, parents, fathers, guardians. One thing that I share is to aurically cleanse your kids as well, right? Why? Because your children, and see, this is the where we're going to get powerful. Your children go to their space, their school, their daycare, whatever the case might be. And then now their auric field, right, is being influenced. And they come back to you. And now when they're in your space, they brought everything with them. All right. So disputes in the household is contribute also to energy that may not be part of the household, right? Disputes between family members, right? There's some energy that may not have been resolved. So I want you guys to start thinking outside the box when it comes to energy. Your auric field is your personal bubble. Yeah, your personal bubble. Are you going to let people in or not? Right? How do we begin to start protecting our personal bubble so that we can, hey, Gems, so that we can actually sit there and feel more confident in the way we're moving? There are times when we know we don't want to be in spaces because those spaces are heavy. But how about if we have to go to these spaces like family functions and events? We don't have to go. However, we also want to, some of us want to test out how much we have grown. How do you do that without feeling like, damn, I got to go over there. I know this is going to happen. I know this is going to happen. Why are you already dictating what's going to happen? Begin to start stepping into your bubble, right? And so one of the things that I teach as a Reiki practitioner or just someone in general to help dismantle some of the energy that's not yours is to literally begin to learn how to imagine yourself being in a bubble. All right. And you can think about it as if people blow bubbles, you can think about yourself being in a bubble. If you can't imagine yourself being in a bubble, look at a picture and start imagining, right? Because this is your auric field. Start noticing, what does it look like? As a Reiki practitioner, I can look at people's auric field and I can see where like the holes are at, can see where the energy is coming from and things like that. Of course, that's through practice and all that spiel. Nonetheless, it's not far from you learning that as well, because a lot of you are gifted in that realm. There's some people that can look and check out somebody's auric field and be like, "Oh, some people have that gift." I could do it on a Reiki session. I can't look at you and be like, I'll be like, listen, because the energies be out there. All right. So one of the things that I learned it personally due to the fact that family members and people in my family, my family was chaotic, right? That's my sister right there. And my family members, whenever I entered into the space of my mother's house, it was get ready to either have a good time or you can be getting ready to somebody's disputing, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. And then I come in to all of that and I'm like, whoa, what do I do with all of this? Right. So one of the ways that you can practice is actually with your family members, like those members that you may not get along so well with, right? Begin to start learning how to protect your energy around that. Work. For those of us who work, that is a big one. I've worked plenty of 9 to 5s. It's been 5 years I haven't worked a 9 to 5, but I've worked plenty of 9 to 5s. And that right there, my friends, is the biggest energy shifter ever. Okay. So, how do we keep our field clear? How do we strengthen it? How do we allow ourselves to know when things are happening in our field and have the tools readily available for us? That goes to our tips. Hey, Green Payday Friday. Let's go. Let the money flow. Let the money flow. Let the money flow. Oh, that also I forgot to share with you guys that this month, for those of you who are watching this in August, we are doing a protection and success Reiki box. Like I said, this August 2024 is about to hit home. So for those of you who don't know what a Reiki box is, it's pretty much me having a space for the community to jump on in and receive daily Reiki to help you maneuver. This month we did emotional support, and we've all are in awe, even myself, right? Because I tell you, I put myself in there. I was even at awe on how much strength I had in releasing emotional energy and feeling supported even when nobody was around, especially with my grieving, right? I don't, well, I share, I don't share. I share I'm grieving, but I don't really tell y'all how I'm doing it and things like that. That's coming up sometime later on. But anyways, the grieving process is excruciating, right? Like it is. It feels like my life has been ripped apart. That's my dramatic self, right? Leo season. However, I've been able to maneuver through that based on the daily Reiki energy that I've been providing for the community and for myself. So if you want to know more about that, you know where you can check it out. But for the most part, I'm a believer when it comes to Reiki because, baby, there was moments where they could have been, I could have went down a spiral when it came to my emotions. And I was like, oh, wow. Go ahead, girl. All right, 5 tips. 5 tips. Some of you may already know this, and if you do, start using it. If you don't, these are some advanced energy hygiene techniques, right? The first thing is psychic shielding, protecting your shield. How do we do that? You have to visualize this. Again, if you can't visualize it, you can vocalize it. I am in a bubble of protection where nothing is able to penetrate within my auric field so that I can be able to walk with ease. My spiritual team walks in front of me and dismantle any and every dispute or obstacle that is coming my way today. Y'all could go ahead and use that. All right. So you can say it, speak it into existence. For others of you who know how to visualize, you take a couple of minutes, right? You can do that in the shower as soon as you wake up. Like, why not protect yourself as soon as you wake up? Why are you going to wait? You want to wait what's going to come through, and then you're going to be like, I knew this was going to happen. That happened to me a lot of times. And so be very detailed on how it looks. Some of us can get into a metal ball. Maybe you need a metal ball because you're dealing with more things, especially for anybody who goes through domestic violence and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm talking to you too. We're going to protect your energy, protect your shield, okay? And so visualize yourself before you go into any event or space that might drain you. That could even be you being around so many people that it drains your energy. And maybe it is a good event, but after that event, you feel drained. How about you go in there and you start envisioning? Some colors that you can use are gold. You can use white. You can use a red, right, for the root chakra, for protection. You can invite some of your spiritual team. That is something that you can do, right? And we'll talk about that. And so that you can be able to, again, feel it. It's all about the feeling, because all of this is you working with your own auric field. So the main important thing is to make sure that it's thick, and you make sure that nothing can penetrate in. And if there's any holes in your auric field, ask it to be patched up. Visualize those holes being patched up so that you can feel like yourself again. Something that I highly always suggest is to call back your power. There's nothing wrong with calling back your power from people. And there are many ways that you can do that. All right. Y'all want me to tell you? Of course, no problem. So, how do you do it? I call all my power back from all directions, dimensions, time, space, and reality. Right? I call my power back from those who have taken it without my permission. I call all my power back from those who I have given to use. And you can say that every night. You can create your own, which is highly recommendable because you that talented, all right, on how you want to protect yourself. And so you can do that when you go to sleep at night, right? Some of us work in areas where our clients are draining, right? Especially if you work with substance abuse clients, if you work with the community. I'm talking to you. Y'all know what time it is. I'll be trying. I'm talking to you. If you work in the community, if you work with large groups of people, I wasn't aware of this until literally I turned 33 years old, right? I was wilding out here in these streets and I was in groups and groups and groups of people. My fitness classes had 60, 70, 80 people, right? And then when I started teaching the community to become fitness instructor, my last class, there was 80 people for 12 weeks coming to class every week. That's when I learned that I had anxiety. I wasn't aware how much energy was surrounding me and how many people were pulling at my energy. Not purposely, like, oh, everything energy. No. Imagine you being my voice. I don't know, maybe I should do some voiceovers. Sidebar. Uh because you when you are a leader in a community, people are gonna be calling you out, right? So when I was doing the fitness uh program for 12 weeks, that was a lot of energy, right? And again, that's when I learned about anxiety through that. And if you guys haven't heard my story about anxiety, I'll say it another time. All right. Energetic cord cutting. Now, this one is very important. I'm not sitting out here telling you to cut all the energies because you mad at somebody. I'm cutting ties with you. Let me do an energetic cord. That's not what I'm saying. Here is the thing. A lot of us be running away from our lessons and be wanting to cut cords with people. And then you realize that it didn't work out. Or you do something and the person is still in your area and you're like, oh my God, why is this person still in my life? And I did mad cord cuttings. That's because the lesson still is not over. You know, you don't have to do anything. Don't excuse me for that. That's my ego there. There's ways for you to continuously work on that energy until it is dismantled or released. There are also people with higher imagination and higher connections with higher beings that can help you do some serious energetic cutting, right? So Neoshi is one of them. Wow, yes. I have been and I'll put her down below. Neoshi, she's a past life regression healer. I don't want to say coach because it's not, she don't coach. And she spends like 4 hours with you and she helps you release, right? So when I talk about cord cutting, I'm talking about cutting energies of the day. When you are, again, at work, some of us take work energy into home energy. How do we cut that energetic cord? How do we envision ourselves once we close that door from work, once we turn off that computer from work, that it stays there? How do we do that? All right. So this is the time to start feeling, right? We are not feeling. Yeah, you in your feelings, but you're feeling what is surrounding you, what makes you feel good, what doesn't make you feel good. When you're talking on the phone, if somebody calls you and you look at the phone and you be like, that's a sign that that person might be draining or there's some type of resistance with that person. You know, what do? I enjoy saying to myself, if I'm going to talk to somebody who I feel is coming with some dispute, coming with some, it's just coming with a lot of energy, because you can feel when somebody's coming with a lot of energy. You know those people. You begin to say a prayer. You begin to call in protection before you pick up the phone, or you don't pick up the phone yet. Say a prayer, call in for good conversation, call in for short conversation if it's not necessary, and build the strength to call that person back. Because once you do that, some of us be hiding from people because we don't want to talk to them. You can literally dissipate that energy just by preparing yourself for that conversation. I remember my mom, let me tell you, this is how I learned, because my mother is the epitome of that narcissistic mom that is very adamant and stalkish. She was a Scorpio. Bro, I used to meditate. Y'all see me? I used to meditate in the mornings, right? And my mom would call me at 6:30 in the morning. Miss, what is your desire? So she'll call me right with meditation. Sometimes I learn through the process, silence. But because of the condition that my mother had, it was very it was a trick where I didn't know if to have my phone on silent or not, because she was a sickly person. She always was going into the hospital. So, girl, anyways, I went through the most. And so I learned to I used to be like, estoy meditando. She goes, oh, perdóname, perdóname. I said, te llamo para atrás. And she'll be like, okay, no problema, no problema. So basically, I was just sharing with her that I'm meditating and I'm going to call you back. So that's how I had to pick up. But before, I used to be like, why are you calling me so early? I'll be doing this, that, and the third. So you learn where your energy is at and how you have evolved. All right. So you can envision, when you want a cord cut, you can envision a golden scissor. Excuse me if I said it wrong. I do have some, pronunciation concerns there. Golden scissors. And then you can seal your auric field. All right. One of the things, yes, Tracy, you talked about crystals. That's our number 2. Crystals are very helpful when it comes for protection. For those of you who do dibble and dabble in crystal, how are you connecting with your black tourmaline, right? Black tourmaline is a very, very good for dissipating energy. Not only that one, selenite. Selenite, I walk around, this is one of my selenites. I walk around with a selenite, right? Selenite is a power cleanser. You don't have to cleanse it. Just don't put it in water because it will dissolve. But selenite is one of those crystals that I would say just get it. Get it. Get a bunch of it. Get it. Put it in your pocket. I lost the selenite in the bathroom, right? Shout out. It was this week. I was somewhere and I lost it. And when you lose it, it just means that it needs to be there and you just let it go. I did an RIP. But it's all right. I got me another one. So selenite is really good for protection, all right? Like I said, black tourmaline, obsidian, right? You can carry this in your pocket. You can put this on your desk at work. All right? These are little tips and tricks. I always tell my clients, I recommend them, especially when they are at work and they are in desire to balance the energy at work if it's too chaotic. The first thing that I do is ask them, do you use crystals? If you do, I start giving them a list of crystals to surround themselves at work, right? You don't have to wild out now. Now you got the crystal corner, right? You want to make sure that it's in a way where it looks beautiful using that Venus energy. So you got black tourmaline, obsidian, amethyst, right? If you know some more crystals, you can put them down below. I know a bunch of crystals. I'm just sharing a bit for y'all so that y'all don't go crazy. But you can definitely wear it, right? You can wear a crystal, right? This is my gate right here. Mm-hmm. You can wear it. You can have it as a ring. You can have it as earrings. I've had black tourmaline earrings, and I've definitely used that for protection so that I can hear better, right? When you're in spaces where people's trying to like trick you or something, and you got your black tourmaline earrings on, right? Start using me and my sound effects. Start using things that you wear as amulets, right? We'll talk about that. Tell me if you want me to go deeper into that, right? Just basically anointing your items to work for you, right? And this goes into the chakra alignment with crystals, right? Being able to do the working with the throat chakra, wearing lapis lazuli or wearing blue lace agate, right? They all over here. Yeah, there we go. Wearing blue lace agate, right? To help you with your throat chakra. If you're someone who's in communication, immediately the color blue or any crystal that is blue is meant for you. Why? That's going to help tremendously within your energy field at work, because that is working with your throat chakra. The throat chakra is said to be the color blue. When you envision the color blue, you're able to help balance that out. Some of us talk a lot. Some of us don't talk too much. You know what I mean? And so you could be overusing your throat chakra, or you could be underutilizing your throat chakra. How you bring balance to that, right? So using crystals, using the colors, it's really going to help you out. Wearing certain colors, there's nothing wrong with wearing black. Like a lot of people be like, oh, to wear black, it attracts the sun, right? But at the same time, remember, black absorbs. So if it absorbs, then that means it's absorbing the energy. All right, it's good for protection. All right. Number 3, regularly checking in on your auric field and using water and sound. All right. Using water and sound. What do you mean by water and sound? Remember, I talked to y'all about the shower, right? Being able to get in the shower, right? And using that water to cover you. I don't know how you taking a shower. Let's talk about that first. However you taking a shower and pouring water over you, that's you blessing yourself, right? We go to get baptized at different religions, right? We dip in water, we do a bunch of stuff. That's you felt that water protecting you, you felt that water did something to you. Soak in the water that you caught in coming out the shower, protected. This water that's dropping, these droplets that are hitting my skin are a form of protection against all harm and evil, for the highest good to all and harm to none. Right? You can imagine closing your eyes. You can imagine that water being a golden light dripping in protection. Get crazy with it. It's your protection. All right. So you can do that, right? Because water holds what? Water holds energy. And when you sit there and you add some salt bath, some Himalayan salt or some Epsom salt into your water, it cleanses up your auric field. How many of us, and I know you're out there, all right? How many of us have came home from work feeling drained and knew that getting some Epsom salt and sitting in Epsom salt for at least 10 to 15 minutes is going to allow us to release all of that tension and you get out feeling rejuvenated? I'm one of those. I'm heavily one of those that goes and gets a Dr. Teal bag. All right. Just the other day I got one. I got excited. I said, Dr. Teal, what up, boo? All right. And you don't always have to sit in it. You can make a mixture of it and pour it over yourself and really relax yourself. That really helps out with your auric field. You will feel a difference, right? Doing that maybe once a week, because it's really the properties in the salt that draws out the energy. And you can go ahead and look that up, or if you want me to talk about it, let me know. All right. And then sound, using maybe like a Tibetan bowl. If not, literally on YouTube, they have many sound healings that I would recommend looking at the YouTube sound healing videos that are like 7 years old and 9 years old on YouTube. They are out there. Those I do feel hold a lot of energy. I've been one of those to use a lot of YouTube videos to cleanse the energy. You can do that. If not, if you have your own sound bowl, go ahead and do that as well. Being able to maybe sit, right? Why not sit once a week to build your protection bubble to hold you down for the rest of the week or for the rest of the month? I don't know how powerful are you, but I know you are. Get creative. Get creative, all right? What happens when you listen to the sound? It deblocks your chakras. It starts deblocking and it starts releasing and it removes energy that is no longer serving you, right? It doesn't have to be, oh, you're going through something major and now I got to get rid of all of this. It can necessarily just be you maintaining, right? Because a lot of us desire to be protected, but how do we maintain it? This is the tools where we're going to be maintaining our protection, where we're not just calling somebody to do something for us when it comes to protect us, like maybe we call our healers or our Reiki practitioners and things like that. Like, can you protect me? Let's start building protection within ourselves, so that way, all you have to do is say a word, right? And immediately things start to shift. I'm going to share something with you with Archangel Michael. Shout out to Archangel Michael. That is my goon right there. Yes. Yes and yes. Why? Archangel Michael has 7 swords. And he's gonna have his own video. And Archangel Michael comes through. He has time. He has time for all of us. Okay. And when I call him in, even when I'm in the streets, it's not even like, I'll tell y'all right now, I am really someone who walks in the streets and I see a problem and my nosy spiritual ass be like, oh, let me help you out. Girl, mind your business. But I can't, right? No, not my spirits. They not minding their business. They're going to call in a bunch of people to go and dissipate that energy. So, and also why? Because if I'm walking through that space and people are in dispute, it's coming into my auric field, right? One thing that I say, don't cross the street all crazy in front of me. I do not want to see that. Don't let me be seeing you get crazy trying to cross the street when you're not supposed to, or right that dispute. So I call in Archangel Michael and I be like, yo, I build a relationship with him. I'll be like, yo, Archangel Michael, come through, because I'm gonna be walking through here, and if I'm not supposed to walk through here, then shift my energy so I can walk through somewhere else. But I'm gonna be walking through here, so I need you to dissipate all of this chaotic stuff that's happening. Because y'all know where I live. I live in an area where things is in Harlem, and so he be coming through within a couple of seconds. I'm gonna say like 2 minutes the most, and things dissolve from disputes to arguments. Is that the same thing? They are, right? Excuse me, my bad. I was getting hyped. To again, DV, right? So I definitely, Archangel Michael is the G for that, and he's gonna get his own video. So, and I'll do a protection video with magical things as well. Number 4, mindful consumption. All right, it's not just about what's around. It's not just about other people. It's also mainly about us. What are we watching? Right? What are we watching? What are we intaking? Those things also can weaken our auric field. Right? If you're watching things that are not keeping you feeling safe. A lot of us watch these horror movies and then be scared to walk down an alley, or if you're watching things that's quote unquote not real and you allow it to come into your auric field and made it feel like it's real, and now it's affecting your day-to-day life because you said that is real, right? So what are we watching? What is on our social media? All right, is our social media is right in front of us. That is a portal. That is your energy, right? Your time is your energy. So that's still in your auric field. So what are you doing with that, right? What are you watching? What is taking your energy? All right. Is it feeding you? Is it giving you the ability to know that, again, protection comes from feeling safe? A lot of us, especially in New York, or those of us who have the Citizens app, right? That's to me, Citizens app. It could be it could be helpful for some people, and it could be not so helpful for others, especially people who have fear of just going outside. Seeing the Citizens app, seeing how many people have been harmed or what's going on can fuck with our heads. So, do you really need the Citizen app alert? So I'm just sharing those type of things. Being able to consume things that also makes us feel better, right? To enhance our energetic feel, like fruits, vegetables. You guys know the drill, right? Eating in a much more clean space. So again, when you start noticing where your energy is at, or when I eat this food, I feel heavy, or when I consume alcohol, I get crazy, right? All of that holds energies. Yes, alcohol, spirits. All right, all of that holds energy. So at times we maybe even wanted to blame other people for throwing bad juju on us, or having saying other people when they came to you. Now you feel this way because this person came around. Maybe the person just really ignited what needs to be surfaced, so that you can understand how you're not protecting yourself and how you may have been giving your energy away and things like that. Again, the blame sandwich can at sometimes be converted and bringing it back to self. Like, what are you doing, for your energy? Hey, no problem. All right. So I talked about media consumptions. All right. I do my best. Yes, when I'm around certain people, I prepare my brain cells to listen to some, especially when I'm around my siblings. They definitely listen to the music that I listen to, which is really like sound healing music. You come in my house, it'd be like 432 hertz, right? Or you hear some affirmations happening. So, like, these are the things that I do in my house. But when my siblings come, I have to prepare myself because they do want to party, right? I can't not have them here meditating all day, every day. So we playing all different types of music, and that music comes into my auric field. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'll be overstimulated, but at the same time, I allow myself to know what when they leave, I go ahead and do a ritual to bring my energy back down so that doesn't stay there. So, like, how are you preparing yourself to be in these spaces to then allow yourself to come back to center, right? So be sure to, again, shift your social media feed, start consuming information and stuff that makes you feel safe and protected. All right. Number 55, eight, five, eight. All right. Daily meditation. I know y'all not gonna like this one, but it's daily meditation and aura cleansing. Hear me out. 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes. We talked about this already. Don't let me go into this, that there's 168 hours in a week. 5 minutes for yourself to protect yourself should be a breeze. Okay. Sit down as soon as you wake up, corner of your bed, boom. It doesn't have to be every day. You could do this. Like I said, you could pick one day. You're that powerful. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your energy, right? So you sit down in the corner of the bed and you can envision yourself outlining your body. As simple as that, you outlining your body with a golden light as protection. And then you say a prayer if that's what you do, right? Psalms is very good for protection, right? Psalms is very good for a lot of things. Psalms, right? You can say a prayer. You can call in your spiritual team. Those of us who have ancestors. This is why I'm going to do a separate spiritual video when it comes to protection, right? Tap into your ancestors, right? Begin to start doing things on a daily basis that's going to strengthen. Maybe you start with 5 minutes, like I said, and then you start learning more ways to protect yourself. You start tapping into crystals. You start doing different things. This is a reminder. This is excuse me. You guys know that I jumpstart you. So this is a jumpstart. Take your time doing these things because it's what's going to help you know how to continuously do something that's helping you out. Why is it so easy for me to call in Archangel Michael when I'm in like a panic mode and know that something's about to go down? Because I built that, right? I built that energy with him throughout the years. It's like, you're come through, right? Especially when I had dogs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because walking two big dogs in Harlem, it was a bit of a stress. It was a relief and a stress. I had to learn, right? I had to learn how to do the balance. So, anyways, building a daily meditation and affirmation. It could be as easy as I am protected. As soon as I leave this home, I am protected. And when I get back, my shield is released, or whatever the case might be. There's so many ways that you can literally create when it comes there's so many things that you can create when it comes to your protection. I thought I was saying it wrong. Building affirmations for boundaries. We do have to learn how to build boundaries. It doesn't matter who it is, even with our children, right? This is where you start learning how to tell your children, hey, I want to use the bathroom by myself. Like, I'm protecting my energy. Poor kids. But and then doing regular assessments within your body, right? If you know someone who is a professional energy healer, if you know somebody who's a Reiki healer, right? You can go ahead and get a monthly checkup to see where your energy is at. What can you work on? A lot of times we work on, and this is even with astrology, we work on areas of our lives where we think we need to work on, and in all the reality, another area of our life was really asking for our attention. So think of yourself as someone who is fluid, right? Shifting through this energy, right? And as you're shifting, you're learning how to protect yourself. You're learning how to maneuver through this energy. I'm probably going to always talk about her. Abraham Hicks talks about the contrast. How do we be in the space of what we would call chaos, darkness, and still come in with this protection and show up and be like, what up? Nah, what's up? Let's fix this. Maybe not like that, but you know what I mean? There's these difficult situations where we really have to sit there and face these difficult situations. How do we do that and feel protected and feel like we're not going to get swindled, meaning people are not going to take advantage of us? That's really the main important thing about I love Tracy's thing. That's the main important thing about protection, right? Knowing that we are aware, right? Aware where our energy is going, aware what people are doing to us, for us. Okay? What we saying out here? Pyrite is good for protection. Okay. Hello. Yes, this is a reminder. This was a random topic that Spirit told me to come and do, which I was like, I thought I was having a mini YouTube break. They was like, ha. So yes, and it makes a lot of sense because the era that we're entering right now, a lot of us are releasing. We're making space. How do we make space and protect? How do we make space and feel confident that things are going to turn out well for us, especially for us that are calling in this miraculous lifestyle that we've never stepped into before? How do we protect ourselves and continue to go down that path? How do you hold space for money when you don't feel that your money's being protected? How do you hold space for new love life if you don't feel like it's protected? How do you hold space for the new you if you don't feel protected? All right. So these are 5 simple techniques. Later on, maybe sometime in August, I'll come in and talk about more of the deep down, beautiful, energetic, magical energy when it comes to protection. Where we talk about protection spells, we talk about candles, we talk about deities for protection. We talk about herbs as well. What herbs can you use for protection? Things like that. It's for prosperity. I have a list of herbs for prosperity if y'all want that too. So let me know in the comments what you have done for protection. Who have you used, right? Yes, we use each other. The spirits be calling in, they use this body and they help us move forward. Start shifting the way you look at words so that they don't trigger you, all right? So what's deity assist you, right? If you don't do it that way, what Bible verse helps you out? How do you, what prayer do you say to God to help you be protected, to help you feel safe? I know for a fact here in New York, There's a lot of prayers you got to say because you be walking down an alley and you be like, ooh, I've been down roads that I'm like, safe. And it's all because I did what? I believed in the words that I put out there. All right. So I love y'all so much. Again, share with somebody that may have some difficulties in figuring out how to protect themselves. These are, like I said, simple ones. Get deeper into that and let me know. I love you. I love you. Have a blessed day.